Hello, Mingalabar, Alex, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Well, first off, I do want to make sure we are sending a lot of wishes, people in Myanmar, obviously yourself, your company, keeping safe in this situation.
Yes, thank you. Everyone is safe and well. We're all very much working from home, but keeping very safe and continuing on.
Keeping up, yes.
Yeah.
So first off, again, I want to thank you, Alex, for spending the time with us to share a little bit more, obviously, for Carzo, and congratulate you, part of the EmergeX participant and winner for our Microsoft for Startup initiatives. What I understand is that it's amazing, right? Carzo is the largest virtual truck fleet in Myanmar, providing a B2B, and you have, I mean, that's like 430,000 trucks in the whole of Myanmar, and your company being able to serve that, it's really impressive. Why don't you share a little bit about what your startup does?
Sure. Yeah, well, we've been around for a few years now. Essentially, the idea was born out of looking around the country or around the streets of Yangon and seeing all of these trucks driving around empty. So there was an interesting idea of making a platform out of that. And then a big pain point in the country is logistics. It's very fragmented. It's very manual and paper-based. So that's where the idea started. We actually started in the sort of B2C on-demand kind of small truck space in Yangon, moving bits and pieces, couches, house moving, e-commerce, things like that. But we pivoted to B2B. We've been full B2B now for about 18 months. So we work with large corporate businesses, MNCs, big domestic companies across all sectors, and SMEs as well. And yeah, we're a platform that sits in the middle. We connect all of the trucks in the country directly to businesses to facilitate the logistics and transportation of goods. But being in the B2B space, we're very much sort of going across the supply chain. So we're not just transport and trucks. We now do bulk shipments from the ports, containers to have a warehouse now. We do warehouse stuffing, unstuffing of containers, transport to the border, and full customs clearance into Thailand as well.
Oh, to Thailand, yeah, across, of course, the Indo-China space. So delivering point to point, managing the whole cost-efficient logistics solutions. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, exactly. We started in just the transport trucking. We built a fleet for freight corridors of Myanmar, but now we're evolving through into the whole supply chain. So warehousing, customs clearance, import, export, containers, and now into the region, into Thailand. So we're very much trying to digitize, make the sector more digital, more transparent, more reliable, cost efficient, essentially for businesses to just, instead of just having multiple suppliers that they have to try and call and they can log into Carzo and facilitate their entire logistics network through that tech platform. But we are asset light. We don't own the trucks. We operate with our truck drivers and fleet suppliers.
I see. Got you. And so allow all these businesses to really focus their strength, right? Rather than being burdened down by all these logistical challenges. So how has anyway COVID impacted or affected this part of the business?
Yeah, there was obviously quite a big disruption in the market. There's been positives, there's been negatives. In general, Myanmar volume went down, but for us, in some ways, there was some positives. Some warehouses closed and then reopened. The border at Thailand closed, reopened. China closed, reopened. So very up and down for a bit. The second wave hit us a bit harder, but we essentially got to digitize a lot more of our business. So stuff like delivery order notes, purchase order notes is all still manual and paper-based, but we couldn't do that with COVID restrictions. So businesses had to digitize that. Our team had to digitize that. Our processes had to be more digitized. So that's been a boost a lot as well. Plus the country in general has become much more digitally financially. Yeah. So that's very good. But yeah, I mean, we're lucky enough to be in logistics sector in essentials, right? We work across the agricultural sector, construction sector, FMCG. Those things can't stop. and the ports can't sort of turn around their ships. So we had to keep going. So we were lucky enough to sort of keep growing as well.
Well, actually, you're spot on. I mean, because of the uncertainty, right? It's kind of like you said, some goes switch on and then switch off. That's where the digital brings in that real-time decision so that you can quickly, dynamically allocate resources, right? And respond to it rather than, you know, a lot of what we call wastages. So that's really great. So it's accelerated people going into the whole DT, the digital transformation. Yes. And so so given that it's so technologically focused, obviously there's a lot of culture change and so on and so forth. What are some of the key criteria, right, for you that you make on the technology decisions specifically for Carzo?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit different in Myanmar, right? It's still a very developing country. Everyone has adopted smartphones now. It's still quite behind in tech adoption in general for applications, using technology for certain things. It's still very manual. So we have sort of got time to build the technology. We can really take time doing the manual processes of our business and really learn what's needed and test a lot with our drivers, our fleet suppliers, our businesses about what they need or what they want. So we have a lot of we have a strong product team. So product ground and our offshore technology team work very closely together and sort of really test certain things and tech processes. And we take that very sort of lean approach of testing bits and pieces to create the options of what we think really needs to be executed and decided from a tech infrastructure point of view. And then we execute that offshore with our tech team. So it's very much a strong product team here on the ground, a Myanmar product team that sit with the drivers, sit with the fleet operators, sit with the businesses and really develop our product roadmap that way. And then we slowly build out the features.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That community, that collaboration, so that allows you to have rapid deployment, right? And obviously adhering to the whole security concern that a lot of businesses have.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And again, it's, you know, we have time in Myanmar. Tech adoption is going to happen. It's just not. It's hard to convince a 55-year-old, you know, truck driver who's been using, you know, a telephone for however many years to go to a pink truck driving app. So we can definitely just build out sort of systems and processes with them and learn what they need and slowly build out the technology that way.
Got you. And so before I let you go, I'm just curious then, so what's your next big thing, your next ambition, growth opportunity that you're seeing for Carzo?
Well, I mean, still Myanmar is our key focus, right? There's still a lot to do here. We're really focused on building out the right product to serving and making a big impact in the logistics sector of Myanmar. That's our focus. But our second stage focus really is the fact that Myanmar is so crucial to this region, right? Geographically speaking, it's bordering, you know, Bangladesh, India, China, Laos, Thailand. It's the connector, so to speak, the gap that bridges, you know, India and Chinese supply chains to Southeast Asia. So we are really looking at localizing, getting a very solid emerging market logistics B2B platform that we can then spread through the region as well. Essentially, that's going to be connected at one point, and we want to make sure we've got a good product for businesses to use for that.
Wow, absolutely. I mean, like you said, you know, taking advantage of that strategic location, right? There's all the borders there.
Has to happen. Must happen, right? So we want to be ready. And the growth of Myanmar, you know, is projected to go quite fast in the coming years. So we need to be ready. Logistics sector needs to be ready for that.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you, Alex, for your time. Good chat. All the best to you. All right. Keep safe.
We'll do. You too. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.